So Rhys, you've been taking the Lifewave performance pack, right? Yeah, that bundle, what, X39 and X49.
X49, yeah.
Okay. So how did you get to know about it?
Well, it was through Paddy. I often struggled a lot with, my fitness in terms of injuries. I was injured a lot. Nothing major, but just small niggles from pulled hamstrings to tore my calf to knee problems to anything. And, Paddy was saying to me, one thing you got to do is you got to get stronger. You can't let these injuries get in your way. And then that's when the patches came about. I mean, it was awesome.
Okay, so prior to the patches and you were having the injuries, how did that impact you in terms of you playing the game to your best?
Oh, I mean, I just didn't have confidence in my body to push myself to the max in training and in games. And I missed out on quite a few games through injuries. And you never know. Every game is an opportunity. You never know who's watching. You never know who's looking at the scorecard. A game that I missed, I could have scored a 200, and all of a sudden, I've got franchise coaches looking at me. If you know what I mean. So, the main thing about cricket is you want to keep playing. You want to always be playing. And when injuries get in the way, it can often turn you away from cricket, and you start to dislike the sport because the sport that you put so much into is also taking away from you.
Okay. So with that in mind, when you started with the patches, how has that changed compared to like what you were experiencing?
Oh, I mean, I feel so much fitter. I feel so much stronger. I haven't had a single injury in a while. Small little, I messed up my finger, and that's from catching a ball wrong. That's not from So it's just I just feel more confident in my body, and I know that I can now move 100%, knowing that I'm not going to let the team down by getting injured mid-game or just before a game in training or whatever.
So it boosts up
my belief in myself.
In yourself.
Yeah.
So now let's say in terms of performance now, before the patch, what would happen? Let's take 1 day or 2 days of cricket, right? How would you be performing? There's no injuries, but how would you be performing for day 1, day 2, day 3 without the patch? Let's compare that.
I think performances obviously got better, but obviously I feel like I got better as a cricketer in the past few years. But one thing I've noticed definitely is the soreness, like after a game of cricket, like the next morning. I was never sore. Like I was always sore before the patches, and always
anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
And what was your handling for the soreness on day 2?
Oh, I'd have to stretch for an hour before, and I'd have to, I feel like I can't move as well. Having to take some chin pain or something to make me feel fine. Whereas during and after the patches, I wake up the next morning and I feel like I haven't played a game yesterday, even though I've scored runs or I've been in the field all day. So I think that's one of the main things is I can like before I could have worked at 100% for 1 day. Then the next day I'm at 90%, and then the day after I'm at 80%. Whereas now I can go 100%
every day
in the row, feeling fine.
So you will swear by that?
Yeah.
Okay. So somebody listening to it who's playing cricket or doing any sports, has had injuries, wants to improve his performance, what would you tell them? It's like based on your experience now, because you've experienced everything.
Yeah, I think it's just you just got to put trust in it. Because I mean, like a lot of people like don't understand it, but I tell them like, listen, it's worked for me. I've felt it work for me, and it's put in you more confidence into myself.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Abby?
So Paddy, why did you tell him to take? Why did you sort of inspire him to take the?
Well, I wanted
the performance pack.
So, like you say, little injuries always you take 2 steps forward, 3 back. Okay, so it gets frustrating for the player and everyone, but I think I pushed this more for the fact that he needed to get strong. So, And I mean, you put on 5 kg, 6 kgs now.
Oh yeah, you had muscle issues, right? There was a bit of weakness in your body in terms of muscles.
Yeah, definitely.
So we sort of recommended the performance pack to build up your muscle.
Yeah, and I think in the past year I've put on about 7 kilos of muscle, but I've gotten fitter in my running. I've gotten stronger. And,
tell us about what happens in gym prior to this and prior to.
Oh yeah, like it's